Spring savings are in the air and at Ross, where they have savings on all the brands you love. From the latest fashion to outdoor decor and even pet supplies, savings are in every aisle. Go to Ross and save 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices on your favorite spring finds.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
This is Optimal Living Daily, the weird way to stop feeling overwhelmed, by Stephen Guise of minihabits.com. And I'm Justin Malik. Now let's jump right into today's post as we optimize your life. The Weird Way to Stop Feeling Overwhelmed, by Stephen Guise of minihabits.com. Are you feeling overwhelmed? That's normal. Life is overwhelming by nature. We have unlimited paths, unlimited ways to improve ourselves, and unlimited problems. But interestingly, this means that overwhelm isn't actually an issue of having too much to deal with, we always do. It's a matter of perspective and temperament. Typically, it's when we realize that we feel we don't have enough time or energy to do particularly critical things that we feel overwhelmed. Or just one intensely emotional or traumatic event can make us feel overwhelmed. How to stop feeling overwhelmed. To stop overwhelm, the solution isn't to go into hyper-productive mode and try to solve everything at once. Overwhelm means that you already feel pressured to do that. That's actually the problem, not the solution. The solution to overwhelm is weird because it doesn't address the many sources of your overwhelm, but how you interpret them. The solution? Sit or lie down and take some deep breaths, or do nothing. When you put a stop to the frenetic pace of your mind and body, you can see the truth of the situation. Notice that taking a moment doesn't ruin your life immediately. It doesn't cause a fire. Taking a moment doesn't create 10 more problems. Taking a moment proves that overwhelm is only in the mind. Relaxing for a moment won't ruin your life. But what if you actually have 35 things to do with only enough time to do 14 of them? Then isn't overwhelm a logistical problem? Actually, no. Because if you only have time to do 14 of them today, that's what you do. Being overwhelmed doesn't give anyone superpowers. There's no need to stress yourself out about it. Stress can push us into action, of course, but it's mostly meant for very short-term situations, like when an alligator starts chasing you. Fun fact, most humans can outrun alligators. Don't zigzag, just run. Overwhelm manifests as stress, which is very taxing on our minds and bodies. If you let it continually affect you, you'll become less productive, more tired, and more paralyzed. My experience. When I begin to sense overwhelm, I'll sit down on the couch or even lie down. This reaffirms to me that no figurative or real alligator is chasing me, because if it were, I wouldn't be able to rest without being eaten. Once I settle down, I'll then target one thing I can do right now that I know will bring some amount of progress. After doing this, I'll feel better because I have positive momentum and can move on to the next thing. The interesting thing to me about overwhelm is how often I'm wrong. When I feel like I have too many things to do, but I go through this process and start doing them, I often find that I'm able to complete what I want for the day. As I've gotten better at minimizing overwhelm, which is a perspective and not a permanent status, I found myself to be a lot more relaxed and productive. And it makes sense that a relaxed mind would be more productive. I've been watching playoff baseball, and I find it interesting that many of the pitchers and batters will take deep breaths between pitches. It seems odd at first because sports are supposed to be intense and competitive, not relaxing. But the players know that they can focus better if their mind is at ease. How to win or lose in tense situations. The best way to blow it in a clutch situation in sports is to think about how important the situation is, to fantasize about being the hero, or worry about making a critical mistake. None of that has anything to do with your ability to execute. That's why it's always easier to make practice shots. There are no pressurized distractions to compromise your focus. Think of yourself like one of these athletes when overwhelm hits you. When it feels like Game 7 with 2 outs, bases loaded, and a full count. Remember that you're going to be at your best if your mind is calm, basically in practice mode. Breathe deeply through your nose. Then focus on the mechanics of your next simple step forward and calmly win that moment. Soon enough, you'll see that you've also won the day and did better than you ever would have being overwhelmed. Final thought, don't rush this process. Don't predetermine that you'll sit for 1 minute and go right back to being overwhelmed. Take as much time as you need to get your mind and body ready. Don't worry, your problems and responsibilities won't go anywhere without you. Face them when you're ready and not a moment sooner. You just listened to the post titled The Weird Way to Stop Feeling Overwhelmed by Stephen Guise of minihabits.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. You know what's frustrating? Coming home to find a trail of ants marching across your packages at the front door. And that happened to me last month. Ants and these tiny springtails were all over my packages, not exactly what I was looking for. That's why I'm excited to partner with Pesty. They sent me this incredibly simple kit with everything I need, a sprayer, mixing bag, pesticide, gloves, and super clear instructions. The whole treatment took me less than 10 minutes to apply around my home. What I love most is how they customized everything to my specific location and the bugs I was dealing with. And it's so affordable, just $35 per treatment compared to the $800 plus per year other companies charge. Pesty gets rid of over 100 types of bugs and is kid and pet friendly. Plus they offer 100% bug-free guarantee or your money back. Protect your home from bugs with Pesty. Go to pesty.com/old for an extra 10% off your order. That's pestie.com/OLD for an extra 10% off. Remember those childhood dreams? As we grow, our aspirations evolve. Instead of fantasizing about space travel, perhaps you're now dreaming of launching your own business around your passion for minimalism or sustainable living. But doubt creeps in. Do I have the skills? Can I build a website? How will I find customers? Enter Shopify, the commerce platform empowering millions of businesses worldwide and handling 10% of all U.S. e-commerce, from household names to fresh startups. Worried about design? Well, Shopify offers beautiful templates that align with your brand's aesthetic. Need assistance? Their AI tools help with everything from enhancing product images to crafting descriptions that resonate with conscious consumers. Concerned about reaching your audience? Shopify simplifies customer connection through streamlined email and social campaigns. And if you get stuck, their award-winning support team is available 24/7. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/old. Go to shopify.com/OLD. Shopify.com/old. Thank you to Stephen. I'm sure you could relate to this one in some way. I know I could. I like that he mentioned that it's not about all the stuff we need to do, because we always have too much to do, but it's our interpretation of the situation. We talk about productivity a lot on this show, maybe some life hacks to get more done every once in a while, but this takes it on from a different angle, doing nothing for a moment. Because like you said, being stressed or overwhelmed about only having time to do 14 of the 35 things on our list doesn't help. Stress just makes things worse. Reminds me of how I handle my mornings these days. I used to try to cram everything in, get some sun, meditate, breakfast, check emails, and so on. And if it feels like I have too much to do, I might get nothing done. Now I just pick a couple, and then it feels like a win compared to the all or nothing approach. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, maybe give it a shot. Take a second, sit down, breathe. I know I mentioned this yesterday, but you can check out our NSDR, Non-Sleep Deep Rest podcast. That's perfect for this. Do whatever feels good and just pick one little thing you can do and go from there. With that, thank you for picking this podcast as a little something positive you can do for yourself. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end and coming back to listen every day. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.